Welcome to the Third Strike Primer for Necro. Necro is not an orthodox character. Starting out with Necro will be a tough challenge, specifically because he relies on the Third Strike, kind of game mechanics more than other characters, as far as what's unique to Third Strike, like parrying. So let's look at his move list. Pretty unorthodox as far as moves go also, and then his supers. Typically you're always going to want to use super number 3. When I switch up a super, it's because of matchups. So I use super number 1, Magnetic Storm, against Dudley, against Hugo, only against Yun and Yang if they're giving me like huge problems, as far as me not be able to chase them down or catch them, or they're just going wild on me. If I can't control the Yun or Yang, then I'll switch it up, but typically I would still pick number 3 for my super. Alright, so let's just get into his normals. Light punch, medium punch, great for zoning, great against other characters' low forwards, or I'm sorry, low medium kicks. This can be cancelled into super number 3 and 2, but it won't combo, and 1. And then you have his Fierce Punch, very long. This is his back medium punch, and this is his back Fierce Punch. Great back medium and a great back Fierce. This is his jab, or I'm sorry, short. This is his back short. It's very quick. This is his medium kick. Not too bad of a normal, but because it's long. Look at that. That's pretty long. But it doesn't really go into anything, and the hitbox is kind of bizarre. It doesn't really hit until it's fully out. If you can see, it's kind of hitting Makoto in like the back of her hind leg, so it hits kind of odd. And then this is his back medium kick. This is the one that you typically use to go into combos, along with the back medium punch. This is his Roundhouse. It's not really that useful except against Hugo and tall characters. This is back Roundhouse. This can be comboed, linked into super. I mean, it's a combo, but it's a link into super, and even his EX spin move. You can even combo or link his light after it, and then of course from the light you can go to super, but let's not get into that right now. So those are his normals. Let's go into his special moves and get those out of the way, and then we can get into like the real fun stuff with Necro. This is his Tornado Hook. That's the light version. Medium, of course, is a little farther, and then the Fierce goes far. Now if you hit the Fierce up close, turns them around and you get to combo them again. So when someone misses something big, like an uppercut or something, you definitely want to start the punish out with your Fierce Tornado Hook, and then continue the combo. The light version pops them up into the air. So if they're in the middle of the screen, you can't really do much about anything about when you hit a Tornado Hook. But when they're in the corner and you hit a Tornado Hook like that, they're close enough to hit. So you can reset them. You can do stuff like that, which would be down and back. So the diagonal backwards, down, back, diagonal, whatever. Here's a punch. This is also a great command normal. It does good damage, and it's a good ender to some of like if you hit his back Fierce, that's what you should typically be doing after a back Fierce, unless there's a character specific juggle that we'll get into later. So let's keep on going with his moves. He has the Snake Strike, which is, it's an overhead. It's pretty slow. You know, if you're not going to be using the EX version, which is the only one that typically ever hits anyone, the normal versions, I guess, could be used to just, you know, hopefully you hope they block it and it just gets you in a little closer. I mean, of course you hope it hits, but that's probably not going to happen. So, there's that. There is it's a command grab, but it can be blocked. So, it can be blocked, and they have to block it low though. So if they're blocking it high, it can still grab them. And if you're close to the corner and you throw them, you have juggle potential too. But just remember, if you hit them before they land, you don't get that landing damage, just like right there. So be careful. Make sure your juggle does more damage than the landing damage to make it beneficial. A note about his command grab is that it can be comboed into, but only if they're crouching. As you can see there, it's a 2-hit combo. If they're standing, it won't combo, so be wary of that. If you're going to be trying to comboing into this, and your elbow hits standing, and you go into your command grab, the command grab is not going to combo with the standing medium punch. And if you're close enough to hit that standing medium punch, they're close enough to punish you if your command grab gets blocked or whiffed. So be wary of that. And then he also has his uppercut move, which is electricity. If you kind of do it at the right rhythm, it will stay out there for as long as you keep the rhythm. So if they jump in and parrying it, as long as you keep that rhythm, they'll have to stay in the air and parry it. A unique thing about Necro's light electricity, which I love this about Necro. I love anti-airing with Necro because you get to do stuff like this. I'm sorry. You can juggle them after. And that's just, you anti-air them, they bounce away, and you just pierce them every time when they're falling back. And it's just a fun little anti-air combo that it's just, I don't know, really fun to hit when people get hit by that. Of course, he has the best taunt in the game. Look at that. I can hold it for as long as I want. I kill so many people with this taunt, it's so funny. People can jump into your taunt and parry and stay there for a while too, it's funny. But yeah, Necro with just a bunch of personality. Then he has his overhead, which is that. Another overhead. Causes a knockdown. Again, kind of a once in the blue moon kind of move to keep them guessing. It kind of pulls them out of throw range, which is neat, but if you're punishing throws with Necro, you can be doing so much more than that. So, again, just something to keep in mind. He has a chain. It's back short to medium punch. And yeah, so that's his chain. Of course, remember he has his overheads. So he has 3 overheads. This one, the universal one that all characters have. That one. And then his jump-ins. Now, Necro is cool in the sense that his jump is really floaty. Like you can see, like he's just in the air forever. I mean, if you think about against Dudley or someone else, you know, you look at their jumps and they're just already on the ground, but he's real floaty. He has drills, which are pretty good. The light version, this one, This is down and a kick. This is all you gotta do to do a drill. Just jump up and do down and a kick. You can do it jumping back, jumping forward, neutral jump, so it's pretty versatile in that sense. But the light version should kind of be like, let's say you're in the corner, you're backed up against the corner, and you super jump out, and then you like escape that way. Like, that's what you should kind of be using it for. For offense, you should use medium kick and fierce kick. Such a unique character. I love Third Strike for adding characters like this and taking a gamble and making just awesome characters. So that's like kind of like his jump-in, because his jump-ins are just not great. He has short, which can sometimes cross up. And honestly, that's one of his better jump-ins as far as normals, because the Roundhouse comes out so late that people will just like anti-air you, and like it comes out so late, his jump is so floaty that people will have like 1,000 years to react. When you jump with the short, it stays out there for a long time, so that helps a little more, but the short isn't anything to be jumping with either. It's just something that I do sometimes to stuff whatever startup they might try to get me with. Anyway, the Roundhouse should be used as kind of a neutral jumping zoning thing. So like right there when I hit Makoto, oh fuck, I whiffed it. You can hit them and then you can combo it into super. So that's kind of your like neutral jumping zoning game, and of course like in between doing this you can come out and do that. So, and let's say you're jumping up and down like this and they jump with you, you can do medium punch and they'll be horizontal with you and you can peg them real quick. If they're above you, if you jump and they jump, you use medium kick. So these are very specific air normals. Necro kinda has no real jump-ins, but as far as air-to-air normals, he can do a little bit better. Now, another great normal, especially against big characters, is his jumping back medium punch. When you're annoying them and you're in their face and blah 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 blah, and then you jump back and do that, and you're away from them, and it's an overhead, but it's an overhead from like way over here. Obviously, you're in the air, but you're still hitting them. It's very annoying, and sometimes, you know, they jump back, they want to follow you, and you stuff them, and you hit their dash with your medium punch. So another Necro thing that Necros do. Yeah. Alright, let's get into his throw. His throw is... oh yeah, he has a sweep too. I didn't really cover this. It's a long range sweep, but it is punishable, and again, once in a blue moon kind of thing, just keep them guessing. I personally like to throw that out there when I'm playing the footsie game more though than a sweep. I love hitting them with that because they can't even parry it. They have to block it low. But be careful, if you're close enough and they block it, it is punishable by a lot of characters, so just keep that in mind. But his throw. So his card throw is forward and medium. It's not that great. But, you know, any kind of range on your throw to add is, you know, not hated on. So his throw is very unique in the sense that against almost every character except Urian, when he throws someone in the corner, he can combo them after. And this is just a normal throw that every character has, but for some reason his throw is different. So he does that. All characters you can do that combo right there, except for Urian, and maybe another one. But you can throw them and then do your medium punch. I just fucked that up. Against basically all the characters. Some characters you can even go a step further, and I will actually show you a few other versions just to give you the kind of feel and like the appeal of Necro, because it's one of my favorite things to do against people when I'm throwing them and I get to do a specific juggle on a character. Necro's really fun, especially because you're doing it off of just a normal throw. So that's one of his harder corner juggles off of a throw. That one is Makoto specific. So that's a Q specific one. You know, really messes up Q. This is not a fair matchup for Q, I feel. This one isn't character specific, but I'm just showing that you can do it. So off a throw you can actually do medium punch and then cancel the super. Just kind of another benefit to using super number 1 against like Deadly and Hugo. Alright, so let's get into some like general Necro gameplay and strategy and how to open people up with, or what to do when open people up with Necro. So Necro has 2 supers stocked with his electric snake. Let's just do his simple bread and butter. You can see that that does almost 70% stun, and if I was to hit him again with my bread and butter, they would be stunned. You would taunt to get that extra damage, and then do your like whatever combo you want to do. If you stun a character and you don't have any meter to spend after, and they're stunned, you walk up and you do this, and you do Furious Electricity. Now on the Makoto it doesn't work, but against most characters they get stuck in it a long time until they finally bounce out. That's a good punish. That's a good meterless punish when they're stunned. Okay, against Makoto, like when they're stunned, they're already like damage reduction. You know, the hit deterioration for the damage has already gone up enough to where I'm not worried about doing the best possible combo. Like I rather set them up for something else. So let's like say she's stunned, go into my Furious, go into my light one, and then I'll jab her and reset her, and then I'm in her range again, and then I can, you know, throw her or whatever. But that's the whole, like, you know, getting reset and getting put in the corner with Necro is the whole. That is his like whole thing, and because his throw can reset the other character, can reset you. So his game in the corner is completely different than a lot of characters, because when other characters throw you, you get thrown to the ground, and then he's in your face again. So he's just this perfect range. Right here is the perfect range for Necro, right here, where you're gonna want to master throwing and baiting them to press a button for you to parry, and then go into your combo to Electric Snake to whatever character specific juggle you can do after Electric Snake. I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but after Electric Snake, you still hit them. Oh god, I just fucking Now that juggled more than it should have because she was stunned, but you get the idea. So before you get the character in the corner, you're going to want to be using moves like this. Maybe every once in a while hit them with the Furious just to be like, hey, wake up. Are you just going to sit there, or are we going to play, you know? And you know, maybe you can close the distance with drills. You know, you can wait at this range a lot longer than a lot of characters, because you do have pretty good range moves. You just don't like when they're up close on their like agenda, you know what I mean? If you're up close and it's all about you, like you got your throw and you're the one setting them up, then Necro loves that. But if the other person's up close and they're setting him up, he hates that. He does not have any like get off me moves or anything like that other than jump away and like try to escape until he can buy some time. So Necro is great when he's getting the other person set up, not that great when someone is like all over him. He kinda has to go for like a well-timed parry or red parry. Now one of the limitations with Necro is that versus a very seasoned veteran player, a lot of his moves like Tornado and EX Snake Strike and even the drills are parry bait, especially red parry bait. They'll block the first hit and then red parry the second and then go for their max damage punish. That is kind of Necro's downfall. That and that he lacks like the typical combos as far as like short super and stuff like that, you know. He's very unique and specific. Necro does have a good backdash, one of the best ones in the game, I think, up there with Oro, I mean. And what else? Alright, so let's go back into like how his corner game works. So I speak a lot about how opening people up with throws is just so important in Third Strike. And it's important in Third Strike because in Third Strike, when you crouch tech, this is crouch tech, and you're holding down and pressing throw. Now that will, if the other character is doing that and I come up and throw them, they will tech the throw. But what I can do is I can bait out that crouch tech and I can down parry that, and then go into my combo. You know what I mean? So you can't get lazy with your throws. If the other person is throwing you to death, and it's a Necro player that's like really good at throwing you and then baiting out that crouch tech, he gets that free parry when your jab comes out. He parries that and goes into your combo. I mean, you just got hit with damage and a bunch of stun, and then you're in the corner, and then you gotta decide if he's gonna throw you or you want to block. But you don't want to block because you don't want that to happen because he gets, see, that's decent damage off of a throw, and then he gets that reset situation again. You don't get a normal wake up game, you get reset constantly. And of course Necro can choose to let you knock down if he prefers it against a character or something, but I'm just saying he can constantly just put you in 50-50 situations, and it's not the traditional like high-low 50-50 situation. It's the should I risk messing up this tech throw, or should I block? Now if you block, he throws you, and if you tech, great. But if you tech and you either tech too early and he baits it, or you tech too late and you just miss the throw, damage and stun on you both times. So pretty cool. Necro has some tricky stuff. You know, he can use his drills to get different angles like that, you know, come on the other side. He can actually, against the wider characters, Makoto's a little small, but against the wider characters, he can actually go behind them. You kind of see how that first hit was behind him, and hit them. So he's a tricky guy, tricky character. But anyway, something to go along with baiting the throws. You're in the corner and you're throwing them, and let's say you don't have any meter but you want to punish the throw. You should do stuff like this. This is a great throw punish. You just kind of walk up and automatically do it. You don't want to even react to the throw. You just want to kind of know that you're trying to bait it out and then throw it out. It's safe on blocks, so you don't need to worry about that. And then like you can, a lot of characters you can do that combo right there, what I just did. After the down back fierce, you can do medium punch in the corner and reset them yet again.
if you don't want to have the knockdown. Another cool thing is that because you're throwing them, and then like they're so afraid to get hit once, because Necro can tack on so much stun that typically after like a few hits and a throw, if Necro gets a hit on, he's gonna go into his super and you're stunned, and then that's basically the round. So they start jumping. So that's another good thing, is that when you walk up and you're trying to bait that throw out, and you think they're gonna throw and you do this, but they don't throw and they jump, you still tag them because it covers all that airspace. And just so you know, when you're like punishing things, you don't necessarily, well actually, if you're far away like this, you don't want to go into your hook after you hit them. You just want to go straight into super. So, because if you go from far away, the hook will miss. So only do the hook when you're close. If you do have super and the character is stunned, I like doing this combo. The knee does a lot of damage and a lot of stun, but normally the character's already stunned. But the knee is very good, and it's kind of like starting the combo off with your fierce punch, except it's a roundhouse, of course. But yeah, this is a link. It's his back roundhouse to short. You should practice the timing on back roundhouse to his short, just to realize when you're when that roundhouse is over. And now once you get that time, you can start doing the link into his super. Necro can combo his supers from his overheads. It's more difficult than others because he kind of has, even his overhead seems a little floaty, you know what I mean? And his like, you're never going to be comboing overheads from this. Like, they're hitting so high up, it's just not going to happen. You want to hit it real late, see how it kind of hit her in the knee? You want it closer to that. Right there, that was closer. You want to have the distance. So at this distance, right there, where it just misses her hand, and hits her knee. That's where you want to have the distance to combo into super. Anyway, I hope that's enough to get you started with Necro, or at least piqued your interest about him. He's a really unique character. He's a lot of fun once you understand how to play him. He just relies a lot on forcing you to press a button and parrying in your face, or open you up with a throw. Players to watch, I guess I should say, would be Sugiyama. Another fun player to watch would be Pino 87. He's like a very wild, zany Necro. Me and Gutex did a few videos on Cross Counter TV of playing like people online, and I was playing Necro there too. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check that out. And then yeah, thanks for sharing this, liking this, subscribing, all that. And I'll come out with the next character tomorrow probably. Alright, see you guys.